right, just a bit of what Tim Houston had to say, and we'll bring you what other premiers are saying, including from British Columbia later this hour. But let's show you where the markets are at as well, if we can, because this is a big story here. The markets have been tanking throughout the day. Take a look. The TSX is down by 421 points, and in New York, the Dow is down by 563 points as it fluctuates. It follows a big drop on Monday as well, after Trump confirmed the tariffs were coming. On Monday, the TSX was down more than 385 points. The Dow was down more than 400 points, and we are seeing the ongoing effect. Let's bring in CTV's Scott Hurst, who's standing by. Really, the reaction. And some people often say, Scott, that, Trump watches the stock market very closely. Well, we're seeing the result here of this tariff war.
Todd, the markets have been taking a beating for a second straight day, pretty much dropping as soon as yesterday afternoon. Donald Trump made the announcement that tariffs would go into effect on Canada and Mexico as of midnight Monday night, Tuesday morning, and they immediately took a nosedive, and that continues today. As we've heard from every provincial leader so far and the Prime Minister, this trade war is going to be tough. It's going to be extremely hard for Canadians. It is an unjustified trade war, and the priority number one is to get the tariffs lifted now. The Prime Minister saying Canada didn't want this, but is ready for it. As you were showing, the stock markets in New York and Toronto, both down significantly today. Also, immediately after Trump made the announcement yesterday, today the Dow Jones waffling anywhere between losing 500 to 700 points. The TSX, as we just showed as well, losing anywhere from 300 to 600 points as the day progresses. And so that is a significant factor. And let's put it into perspective with some of the jobs that are on the line, too. According to the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, in a statement that it released today, saying this reckless decision by the U.S. administration is forcing Canada and the U.S. toward recessions, job losses, and economic disaster. According to numbers from the Chamber of Commerce, 1.4 million American jobs are tied to Canadian exports. 2.3 million Canadian jobs are tied to U.S. exports, with Canada as the #1 export market for 34 U.S. states, and that is what is on the line here. When we talk about the stock markets, Todd, of course, reacting negatively ever since Donald Trump made the announcement yesterday afternoon, so a second straight day really taking a beating. But also many jobs are on the line as industries have to pull back as well. And we all know for sure that the economy does not like uncertainty, and this is exactly what these trade war and these tariffs do. Lots of uncertainty for the Canadian economy. We're seeing the immediate reaction, Todd, with the stock markets, but lots of concern over the long term about what this could mean for so many different industries. And according to these numbers that were crunched by the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, kind of looking at how it might affect everyday Canadians, it could cost the Canadian household an average of $1,900 annually. So that is significant for Canadian households as they look to figure out what this could mean, not just for their jobs, their investments, but also going forward, what it could mean for the entire Canadian economy, Todd.
CTV's Scott Hurst with the latest on that. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Todd.